No regrets. No regrets. That is my desire and wish for you and for myself and for everyone, because the energy and emotion of regret and regretfulness, it's not doing you any favors. So I'm here to kind of shake the tree on this a bit and see if we can loosen it up and shift the way that you see this. Hi, I am Kylie Ansett. I am the Alignment Whisperer, and I guide alignment seekers to connect with their inner wisdom. I'm coming to you from beautiful Sydney, Australia, and this is your daily dose of alignment. Okay, so regretfulness, regretting, it's such a murky emotion, right? It's so charged with all sorts of other things. And I really want to, first of all, clear up that charge and kind of dispel some of these, new age concepts or beliefs around it. I really want to discharge the energy around that, clear it up, so that it's not something that dogs you through your life, that, follows you around and allows you to miss opportunities. So that's kind of my goal for this live stream. Okay, so let's have a look at this concept of regret. It is it's charged with wishing I hadn't done something that I just did, or thought something I just thought, or said something I just said. Now, what happens when we do this? A couple of things. First of all, we beat up on ourselves. That's probably the strongest emotion around regret. It is, I've done something wrong. I should have known better. Whatever it is, whatever the self-talk is. But basically, if you've done something that in hindsight you think, yeah, that shouldn't have happened, all of that charged emotion of negativity around the action just adds to it. You are actually adding fuel to the fire. So you've already got this little ember of did this thing, wasn't a great thing. Now you're going to add onto it a whole lot of kindling of I'm an idiot, I shouldn't have done this, why, why do I always why do I always say the wrong thing, why don't I say the right thing? Whatever it is, you add this kindling to it, and suddenly what was just a little burning, a little ember is now a forest fire. So you've activated. Regret is actually activating negative emotions. How's that? Regret is activating negative emotions. Now, here's another thing that adds to the murkiness of regret. In certain circles, I think sort of in the new age world, we talk about regret. Often we say things like, oh, I had to learn that lesson, or, I keep doing this thing until I learn this lesson, or they're going to keep coming back until they learn this lesson. Now, I really want to dispel and disarm and dismiss and all the disses. I want all the disses around this. Because here's the thing, if we're meant to learn this lesson, that in itself, learning a lesson has such a negative connotation. I mean, when you go to school and you are forced to sit down and learn a lesson, it's completely, let's take what learning a lesson means. For most of us, we have learnt lessons through the schooling system. So we have this really kind of strong activated memory around what learning lessons was about. And if it's all about validation from outside. If you learn a lesson, then you get the gold star and the tick, and if you don't learn the lesson, then you get the fail, the F or whatever. So there's this kind of, it's not a. Now, it's different to say learning to ride a bike, right? I'm kind of going back to these childhood things, because we never talk about learning the lesson of riding a bike, right? We don't use that language, because riding a bike is like some kind of joyous, freeing, natural thing that our inner being and us just want to do when we're, you know, at that age of whatever it is, 6 or 7, or whenever you learn to ride a bike, right? So we don't talk, oh, we learned the lesson of riding the bike, and now I've learned that lesson, you know, that's learned. So when you are regretting something, so first of all, like I said, fuel to the fire, you're consolidating this thing that may have just been a small thing you did or a big thing, doesn't matter, but by bringing the emotion of regret around it, you consolidate it into your mind. You make it, you refresh the memory over and over and over. So all of that's going on. That's first of all. Now, sometimes to kind of make ourselves feel better, we say, oh, I had to learn that lesson. Now, that is not it's not the way that our inner being communicates with us. Our inner being's not there sort of saying, okay, if you think of learning a lesson, it's like your inner being is looking down on you, right? When you learn that the person that teaches you a lesson is someone who is, you know, superior to you. So, and then when you learn the lesson, you get validation from them. It's just a communication. It's just a dynamic that doesn't exist when it comes to how you access your inner wisdom, all right? So I'm using the term inner being, inner wisdom, like the part of you that actually has the answers, because I truly believe that each of us has all the answers inside us. And if we could just kind of get rid of all of that stuff that's on top of it, all the layers of murk and whatever that we've put there, you'd have a direct line to this limitless wisdom. So your inner being's not trying to teach you lessons, okay? That's not what it's about when you do something and then you say that I have to learn that lesson. So I want to deactivate that, because here's the thing. When you see something that you've done as that you may be bringing the emotion of regret around it, instead of the emotion of regret, how would it be to swap it out for the emotion of appreciation? Now, bear with me, because I know this can be a bit of a leap, and sometimes you'd be like, how could I possibly appreciate, you know, this stupid thing I said, or that dumb thing that I did that ended up being whatever, you know, it led to all these bad things happening. So appreciation is, if you are able to bring appreciation, and I'm going to go through with you in a moment what that would look like, but if you're able to bring appreciation, what it does is it takes the charge entirely out of that regretful thing that happened. It completely diffuses it. It's like putting water on the fire instead of gasoline. It's like a nice big cold bucket of water on those embers of that regret fire, of that negative thing that you did, or that thing that you wish you hadn't have said. Appreciation shifts, because basically anything that we do or say or think is there to, if it's already been done, okay, if you've already done the thing, thought the thought, what you're doing by bringing appreciation to it is you're decharging that negative emotion. You're taking the charge out of it entirely, and you're allowing it to be something that is, instead of being thought of as negative, you're able to bring some appreciate it and bring appreciation around it. Now, this deactivates it and allows you to just move on with your life. I have this strong thought of never looking back. Like, basically, if I've done this thing and it's done, I'm not going to put the emotion of a regret around it and activate it. I'm not going to think it's a lesson that I had to learn. I'm just going to move forward. Maybe mental note to self, okay, don't speak like this, don't do this thing, but it's all about moving forward. Now, what I have found is when I do that, that's when appreciation comes. Now, you have this understanding of contrast, so you don't really get to appreciate being super ridiculously crazily wealthy unless you have also experienced the other side of that. So someone who is born into wealth and has only ever had a lot of money doesn't ever truly appreciate that, I'm imagining. And someone who is only health, this is what I can do. Healthy. If you've only ever had 100% fantastic health, you don't really appreciate it. As soon as you get a cold and you get a headache and you break an ankle or something like that, that's when you go, oh my God, it was so good before. That was so fantastic. But if all you've ever experienced is that fantastic health, you don't appreciate it. Having a glimpse of lack of health gives you a true appreciation for the having of it. And this is the way I like to see any situation that happens, that I would look back and go, okay, I could have done things differently. Next time I will do a different, say a different thing. When normally you would feel regret, instead I'm going to think, okay, this has allowed me to appreciate how doing things the other way is way better. I wouldn't have appreciated that if I hadn't done it the wrong way first. I hope, is this something you've ever played with? Have you ever had a go doing this? Because if it is, you'll know that it's not a natural thing. We actually have to be very conscious and aware of what we're thinking about to not just jump into regret straight away. So I'm here to kind of encourage you to try on a different shirt. Try on the non-regret shirt and see if that feels differently. See if that is actually hey there. See if that is actually one that feels a little bit allows you to have a different experience around it. Now, if it is, then you will know that having no regrets is definitely the only way to live your life. It allows you to live your life much, much fuller when you bring the emotion of appreciation instead of the emotion of regret to everything that happens. And what I have found is when I do that, often what was quite a negative situation. So I'll give you an example. This just happened yesterday. I said something, I was on a phone call with someone and I said something and as soon as I said it, I knew that didn't come out right. Like we've all been there, right? and it had the reaction of kind of upsetting that person. It wasn't my intention, but that's how it happened. Now, and it wasn't a big deal, but it kind of was. Now, afterwards, I went for a walk and I was thinking about it. Of course, as you do, immediate emotion that wanted to come out was regret. Wish I hadn't have said that. That was a dumb thing to say. But because I'm very conscious that this emotion of regret, all it does is adds fuel to the fire, like I said. So what I did instead is I went, okay, I did it. I've said it. I'm going to move on. For whatever reason, that's how it was. I'll know next time. This was my immediate thought. I'll know next time I'm having a conversation like that not to say that. Great. Okay, off we go. Now, here's what happened. The next day, which was today, I had another conversation with this person. And actually, because of what I had said, a whole kind of cavalcade of stuff happened, which ended up being incredibly empowering for both of us. Now, it was a little bit scratchy. I'm not going to say it was a perfectly smooth ride, but if I had have just activated the emotion of regret, so I'm not saying, okay, I learned a lesson or I did that thing and it made good things happen. What I'm saying is if I had have activated regret when I went on the walk and I had been beating up on myself, oh, I shouldn't have done that. When I had the conversation today with that person, it would have been very different. I would have shown up in a different way. I would have shown up sort of on the back foot, a bit defensive, feeling like, oh, like I'm so sorry I did that thing. Okay, that's how I would have shown up. And the conversation that we ended up having would not have been an empowering one that gave both of us insights into various aspects. It wouldn't have gone that way. Because I was able to just go, oh, okay, note to self, don't say that kind of thing again. Let's keep walking. It shifted the whole energy. Then when I showed up in the conversation, there wasn't an ounce of regret. There wasn't an ounce of heaviness from my side at all because I hadn't activated that. So that's my little trick for you, little no regrets. Live your life with no regrets. And see how it feels. Just try it on. Try that coat on for a day or two. Try that hat on and see what it feels like. So I hope that's kind of brought to mind a few opportunities how you might be able to do things differently. Now, I am going to be doing a live stream in my group every day about how to speak to your intuition. Now, I fully believe that our intuition has messages for us all the time. Like, out of the 3 billion things that we get to see, we choose 5 or 6, and our intuition has a lot to do with that, because we filter everything that we see so much so that we can handle that information. So what I'm doing is I'm offering a little game. It's kind of a game. Basically, you come on in live to the live stream that I'm going to do this afternoon, and we get to play around with your intuition. We get to see what has your intuition got to say to you. So if that sounds fun, make sure that you get along to the group Addicted to Alignment. Get in there and see what that looks like. It is a lot of fun, but not only that, it's really, really empowering. As far as the messages that are coming through are incredible, absolutely incredible. I'm blowing myself away. I'm blowing my own mind. So if that sounds like fun to you, get along to the group Addicted to Alignment. And don't forget, if you like the idea of one-on-one coaching, I'm here to work with you. I absolutely love my greatest joy is working one-on-one with people, helping them shift limiting beliefs and connect with their inner wisdom so that they can live their life with purpose. All right, thank you so much for playing with me in the Alignment Sandbox, and I'll look forward to speaking to you later. Bye.